Michael Carter carried 3 envelopes full of cash in his backpack when he knocked on the door of the real estate office. $18,000 in cash. No bank had approved him for a mortgage, but there he was, about to put down the down payment on his first home. 2 years earlier, Michael Carter was 29 years old and delivered food by bicycle through the streets of Phoenix, Arizona. He earned between $1,200 and $1,500 a month, depending on tips and the extra hours he managed to get on weekends. He lived in a rented room for $280 a month. He had no savings, no credit history, and had just received news that made him shake. The owner of the building where he rented told him he planned to sell the property at any moment, maybe in a few months, maybe in a couple of years. Michael did not know when, but he knew clearly that sooner or later he would have to leave. Rent in that area had gone up almost 40% in 1 year. New apartments required a $1,000 security deposit plus the first month's rent up front. Michael did the math on his phone that night. It was not enough. He called his sister, Sarah Carter, who worked as an accountant in a mid-size company. "Apply for a loan," she told him. "That's what everyone does." Michael tried. He went to 3 different banks over 2 weeks. The Central Bank rejected him on Monday, the National Trust Bank on Wednesday, People's Bank on Friday. All told him the same thing. Irregular income, no formal tax documentation, no credit history. Rejected. The word followed him like a shadow. One July afternoon, while waiting for an order at a restaurant, Michael overheard a conversation between 2 servers. "My cousin bought his house without borrowing from any bank," one said while cleaning glasses. "He saved using a weird weekly method, but backwards." Michael stepped closer. He felt embarrassed to ask, but desperation was stronger than pride. The server explained it briefly. It was called the reverse 52-week savings method. Instead of starting small, you start with the highest amount and save less each week. "It's psychological," the server said. "At the beginning it hurts, but later it gets easier, and you don't quit when it matters most." Michael saved the name in his phone. That night, he searched videos and articles and found dozens of testimonials. The traditional 52-week method starts with saving $1 the first week, $2 the second, $3 the third, until $52 in the final week, totaling $1,378. But most people quit near the end when expenses are highest. The reverse method flipped the logic completely to keep motivation high. You save $52 in week 1, $51 in week 2, $50 in week 3, until saving just $1 in week 52. Same total, $1,378, but far higher completion rates. Michael felt hope for the first time in weeks. He could try it, but it was not enough for a house. He needed at least $18,000 for a down payment on a modest home outside the city. So he adjusted the plan. Instead of saving dollars, he saved multiples of 5. Week 1, $260. Week 2, $255. Week 52, $5, totaling $6,890 per year. It was not enough alone, but if he completed 2 full cycles and worked extra shifts consistently, in 2 years he could reach $13,780 plus emergency savings. Michael printed a savings chart at a local print shop and taped it above his bed. Every week he crossed off a box with a red marker. Each mark was a small victory. The first week was brutal. $260 was nearly 1/5 of his monthly income. He took extra shifts, worked 16 hours on Saturday, lived on rice, beans, and eggs, canceled streaming subscriptions, took cold showers, and stopped buying coffee outside. Small habits became real money. Every dollar mattered. Week 2 felt lighter. Week 3 is easier. By week 6, the habit was automatic. He came home, counted the cash, filled the envelope, and marked the chart. No debate, no excuses. By week 8, Michael had saved $1,940. For the first time in his life, he saw real money with his name on it. He took a screenshot of the balance and made it his phone wallpaper. Week 12 brought the first crisis. His bike broke during a delivery and repairs cost $220. He almost touched the savings envelope, but stopped. He borrowed $100 from Sarah, worked double shifts, and fixed the bike without breaking the plan. That moment changed everything. He opened a separate emergency fund account. From then on, savings and emergencies stayed separate. By week 18, his mindset had changed. When money arrived, his first thought was saving, not spending. Tips were mentally divided before he reached home. Expenses, savings, emergencies. Automatic. By week 23, he crossed $5,000 in total savings and called Sarah just to tell her. She cried on the phone. By week 52, he completed the first full cycle with $6,980 saved and an emergency fund of over $1,000, totaling nearly $7,900. He cried alone that night and started the second cycle the very next day. During year 2, his income stabilized when a larger delivery app offered him a contract with $1,600 base pay plus commissions. Predictable income changed everything. By week 90 of the plan, Michael had saved $17,100 and began visiting homes on Sundays. He found a small house in Mesa, Arizona, 30 minutes from downtown Phoenix, priced at $45,000. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a small backyard. Not perfect, but solid. The required down payment was 40%, $18,000. He explained everything to the seller, a 60-year-old private owner named Robert Jenkins. He showed envelopes, charts, and receipts. Jenkins stayed silent before saying, "In 30 years, no one has shown me discipline like this." He gave Michael 2 months to make the down payment. Michael worked harder than ever, selling unused electronics, taking sunrise deliveries, working in extreme heat, and accepting help from family with small loans. 2 years later, he walked into the real estate office with 3 envelopes. They signed the papers in front of a notary. No bank, no mortgage, just a private agreement with monthly payments lower than his old rent. That night, Michael slept on an air mattress on the floor. It was his floor, his house. He hung the wrinkled savings chart on the wall as proof that discipline beats income, that patience builds ownership, and that if one delivery rider with no credit history can do it, anyone can. The method works.